Welcome back, everyone, to another Cobra Kai Season 3 watch party. While desperately waiting for Season 3 anything, the fandom caught fire recently when Ralph Macchio posted this picture. It was our very first look at Season 3, a shot of Daniel, who looks just like Ralph Macchio at his dealership. Now, there has been plenty of discussion about what's going on in this shot. I did a live stream where we talked about it. There'll be plenty of time for more speculation. I also want to say up front, everything in this video is just fun speculation. Please, let's not get carried away. These are guesses. Nothing is confirmed. Now, Ralph was in the studio for additional audio work. He was probably just re-recording lines or slightly different lines. It's the sort of stuff that often comes up in post-production editing. Now, Ralph was careful to make sure info didn't accidentally leak out. Like these marks he made in Photoshop, to be sure. I mean, honestly, I don't know how he would get the idea that people out there would be peering into his pics and somehow grab information that shouldn't be out there. I mean, is that even possible? Who would do such a thing? Beats me. If any of you know, leave a comment and do tell. Now, what information can we garner? Well, there is this. Now, this is essentially the timestamp. It's where the picture is in this episode. It can be a little tricky to read, even I was unsure. Traditionally, it would be broken down to real, minutes, seconds, frames. Now, since it's digital, are they still using real? Does this one mean hour or real? Well, since it's a half-hour show, the possibility of an episode running an hour is slim. Plus, if we look here, we see reel 1. So they do still break down by reel. It's just the show only has one reel. That means this particular shot occurs at reel 1, 0 minutes, 12 seconds, and 17 frames. Basically, this is a shot at the very beginning of the episode. In fact, can you almost imagine the Cobra Kai logo coming right on top at this point? Seems like a good bet. And while we're at it, remember this pic from John Hurwitz, as well as this one from William Zabka? Seems like they took this pose at the end of episode 10. Well, from that, we can learn episode 10 is going to run 37, almost 38 minutes long. So that's pretty good for a season finale. Now that's it for sure. There's definitely nothing else we can learn from this picture. Like I said, Ralph was extra careful for some reason this time. I mean, look at that. Nothing to make out. He was completely sure to leave no evidence behind. No matter how close you look, you won't find anything to go, wait a minute, what is that? You see it right there. You can make out the color of the text. Definitely something there. Look at it. We can see a straight line there, and here it's curved around. Well, damn, is this a 10? Are we actually looking at the opening shot of the last episode of the season? It sure seems like it, or at least we're meant to think so. We need to check. Here's an easy way. Luckily, we already have a 0 from over here. Let's just borrow it and see if it matches. No problem. Doesn't look right. This 0 looks more narrow than what's hidden here. Like this is wide and this is narrow. I don't think it's a 10. Close, but no. Plus, if it is just an episode number, what is the rest here? I think what we're looking at is the episode title. Can we figure it out? That would be a hell of a challenge, but like I said before, I'm up for a challenge, so let's give it a go. The color we can grab from the picture. What we need first is the font. It's the only way we're going to be able to line it up and match what we see. How are we going to figure out this font? That's a good question. So before we continue, let's talk a little bit about fonts. Every font you see is broken down into one of two categories, serif and sans serif. Now a serif is the little cute flourish at the top and bottom of the letter. Like this is a serif and this is one. Sans is just a fancy word for without. It's a Shakespeare word. Right now, all the English majors are all like, I knew that. Anyway, sans serif just means without the serif. You see the difference? Now, somewhere over the past few thousand years, experts determined a serif font is better for reading in a book or printed out in your hand. A sans serif font is better for reading on a computer screen. Why does this matter? Well, the last time we did this, we were looking at a physical script. This was meant to be read on the page. Indeed, it used Courier New, or specifically Courier Final Draft. Now this font is on the computer screen and very clearly sans serif. Also, the Courier font is unique in that every character takes the same width. This is done on screenplays to keep the timing of the script right, but it is uncommon. This font is designed to format for each letter individually. Notice the spacing between the letters, especially how close it is here. It'll come up later. Okay, now let's try and figure out the font. We know we only have to look at the sans serif fonts, so let's type out some words and try to find a match. No. Okay, that's a good one. Arial. No, still not right. Spacing is way too wide. But then what about Arial narrow? Hey, that looks right. Let's do font size 20.6. And boom, look at that. We got it. So back to here. We first thought it was a 10, but now we know that is certainly not true. It looks like an I and an O, but that doesn't work either. Now look at this letter. It looks like an I, but look at the spacing with the second letter. You see how big a gap that is? Look at how the I is formatted in this font. The next letter is always crammed right up next to it. Now look back here. You see that distance between the letters? We can infer this is not an I. There has to be a part of the letter blocked out, and I think it's at the top. I think this letter is a T. So if we think the first two letters are T-O, let's see. Yep, fits like a glove. So we have the first two letters, T-O. And if we just make an educated guess, it looks like this word has 6 letters total. So what we need is a 6-letter word beginning with T-O that makes sense as a title for a Cobra Kai episode. Well, let's browse the words, shall we? I don't know. Top Man? That doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute. Top Gun? No, wrong franchise. Touché? Well, maybe. It could kind of make sense, but I really don't think so. I don't know. How about... Well, he is at a car dealership. No, he sells BMWs and Audis. Not that. Honestly, I looked through the list. It's like through the whole English language, I can't find a 6-letter word that begins with T-O and makes sense for a Cobra Kai title. Wait a minute. English language. The show has a tradition of having one episode with a Spanish title. What if this episode title was in Spanish? Let's see here. Okay. Alphabetize. Scroll down. Hey, what about that? Toxico? Let's see how it fits. And look at that. It fits perfect. Everything from what we can see to the parts we can't. Well, the internet tells me to pronounce it toxico, and let's look for the meaning. Yep, a deadly meaning as in toxic. Now, considering the Season 1 Spanish title was referring to Miguel, then the Season 2 title was referring to Miguel and Sam's relationship, is it possible the Season 3 Spanish title is referring to Miguel's father? We know he's a...
Let's just say he was a very bad man.
Maybe this title refers to him. Or, come to think of it, maybe this still refers to Miguel and Sam's relationship. Super toxic, deadly. It sure does seem to describe Sam, or at least her relationship with Miguel, doesn't it? I mean, probably, but probably not. I mean, probably.
I'm sorry. I have to go.
Okay, this is just a wild guess. Let's not get carried away. Please, no one go out there tweeting Hurwitz that it leaked that Toxico is an episode title. It didn't leak, we're just guessing and having fun. Either way, after you like the video, leave a comment and let me know what you think. Does the title make sense? Also, if you hear a huge smacking noise over the internet, that's just Brianna karate chopping me for doing this again. So while I'm practicing my wax on, wax off, you should check out my other video like this. I explored the title of episode 2 of season 3 from another Ralph Macchio pick. That's a fun one. You'll love it. Have a great day. I'll see you again very soon.
Let's just say he was a very bad man.
Asshole!
I had to get far away from him.
To get away from all the drama.
Sorry to hear that.
Don't be
You
sorry.
got room for one more?
I moved on long ago. You can't let the mistakes of the past determine your future.
Yeah, well, it's not that easy.